Mayor Boisman.
Where's your cage?
Not sure, I think it's back in St. Paul's or someplace.
Oh, okay.
Good afternoon. It's Tuesday, February 13th. I'd like to call the February meeting of the Energy Awareness Commission to order. First item on our agenda is we've got a new member. Rick, would you like to introduce yourself? Give us a little background.
Rick Oppitz, lifelong resident of New Ulm. I've been self-employed for the last 42 years in town. About it.
Very good. All right. Welcome. Nice to have you.
Thank you.
Actually, on the agenda itself, our first thing we should do is approve the minutes of our January meeting. I think you've all gotten copies, had a chance to review them.
Yep.
Any questions, comments, concerns? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting held on January 9th, 2018.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
I will second that.
We have a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor of said motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes have been approved. Next thing on our agenda is to review our conservation improvement statement for the month. This one is an easy one. We just basically only had, 3 activities?
3 to only really report on. At the beginning of the year, it gets, things start to come in and it takes a little while to process everything. So there's been a lot more action. But just from the first of the month to the end of the month of January, these are just kind of the 3 biggest expenses or rebates that were given. So we had the furnace check and clean, which had $160 that had been given to customers since the beginning of the year. And that had an original budget of $30,000. The furnace install rebate has $500 have been given to customers since the 1st of January until the end of January. And a starting balance of $25,000. And then residential lighting rebate, $330 have been given to customers. And that had a starting balance of $50,000. Like I said, there's been a lot of other rebates, numerous rebates been coming in, which we'll be able to touch a lot more on
We'll see them next month.
Next month, yeah, we'll have three or four additional ones.
I just have one simple question, and
Yep.
we may have answered this before, but our previous budget, we did have a carryover balance of around $19,000. What happens to that money? Does that get rolled into this year's budget, or
No.
does that go to the commissioners, or?
It can if you would like it to. To work something out. Can you edit that out?
I just was wondering, if there is a balance at the end of the fiscal year, what
I can't
does
give you
happen to that?
that's
They
good-
don't,
good
they don't
question.
carry it
It
over.
doesn't get carried
It does
over
not
from
get
where-
carried over. It just goes to the reserve
Okay,
fund.
very good. Good answer. Thank you. If there are no other comments or questions on the statement of expenses, entertain a motion to approve that.
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Couple items on our new business. The Home and Health Show that we are participating on is March 23rd through 25th. Darren, he provided us several examples of some handouts that you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, these are just many of them I picked up from Energy Star and energy.gov, which are great resources. They're up to date. The first couple are from actually Energy Star, the Lighting Made Easy and Right Light Energy Guide that gives the facts. On Energy Star, that focuses on the Energy Star bulbs and some of the information presented within these handouts include the different color variations, brightnesses, and cost/benefits of LED lighting. The next one is from energy.gov, the Right Light Guide. Is something that's been presented before, I believe, at the home show, but it's updated and focuses on LED bulbs. And that also kind of gives the looms and differences between incandescent CFL and LED bulbs. And there's also a lot of different cost comparisons with that as well. And this other one from energy.gov, this one was labeled I got the label off, but this next one I thought was interesting just because it has a lot of other facts, similar but presented differently than the other ones, but it has a little section on holiday lights, and since that is a rebate of ours, I thought it'd be nice to have something informing people of holiday lights and the cost comparisons from incandescent lights on Christmas trees to LED bulbs. And also an additional facts label on the lighting facts, which all light bulbs have to have on them, which is mandated that they're attached to the packaging. And the other thing that I thought was really interesting, but I am a little concerned about the year it was published, the lighting field guide, which was published in 2013. So it's not super old, but 5 years of advancement in technology can skew some facts. But what it focuses on is multifamily homes, and since there are multifamily homes in New Ulm, and there are quite a few, this could be beneficial to the people that do maintenance and own those buildings, and could be something informative for them. So that's what I've kind of found so far, and I looked today also and found some additional information. Of course, that was found today after I made the agenda.
Well, I like the additions. I'm not sure that multifamily
Yeah, there's good information
packet
in it, but
would
it's
necessarily be good to hand out at the Home and Health Show, but it's absolutely, yeah, it's a very good resource. But whether the average person walking by at the home show
Right,
is
right.
going to pick that up, I don't know.
Might be more of kind of a good resource to have a copy or two of at the home show, and you can direct people towards it
Very good.
if they're
if it's
interested.
brought up or if
Yeah.
it's in,
Mm-hmm.
brought up in a conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other items, yeah, I would certainly think we should be handing them out.
And as I find additional information, I'll present that to the commission.
You also are going to have the light bulb strip
Yes, yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
demonstration there.
Fred. So on the table in front of us, there's LED light bulbs, and an idea that I'm sure was used in the past was to have them plugged into what's sitting next to it. It's a what's what. It actually shows the wattage, kilowatts an hour that those light bulbs would be using, and that could be compared to I would say incandescent bulbs or CFL if that's what choose, but it'd be something that someone could actually physically see and not just have to read through material, or it's just nice for people to actually see something that's kind of factual. And I do have 2 of those at least, maybe possibly 3, so it's an idea or a start.
Be a nice showpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So as commissioners know, we are going to emphasize the LED lighting portion of our energy awareness program this year at the home show. So Another thing is a schedule will be coming out as far as when commissioners would like to sit at the home show and visit with people, answer questions. And we'll see that, and we also have the poster contest coming up. How are we coming on that, Derek?
We're just waiting for next week. I have 2 on next Thursday, not this Thursday, but the following Thursday. I believe 22nd and 23rd. So I have 2 on the 22nd at St. Paul Elementary, and then at St. Anthony, and then on Friday I have the public.
Okay.
So they'll be done next week, and beginning of that first full week in March is when we'll probably be picking them up and then presenting them hopefully at the next commission.
And our next commission meeting
Yep.
is March 13th, so we will be judging posters then. Are there any other questions or concerns for the Home and Health Show this year? All right, and we just have another addendum. Minnesota Valley Action Council is changing their policy on LED lights. And Derek, if you just want to touch on that with us.
So I received an email from MVAC on the 6th of February, and it regarded they're changing their CIP regarding their LED light bulbs, and they want to know if the new prices are agreeable with our CIP program, and they're also giving us the option to back out of the LED bulbs of funding them. What it pretty much, to sum it up, they gave us 2 options. One was their claim is holding on and recycling these light bulbs that they take out of these homes is costing them more money, so that's why they want to try to increase their charge. And they gave 2 options. One was for $5 a bulb, they could have their auditor determine how many LED bulbs the client would benefit from, and then they simply would give the bulb to the person. And the second option was for $7 per bulb, they would have their auditor determine how many LED bulbs the client would benefit from, and they would replace and recycle the old bulbs. And from what I gathered from our contract with them, which I also attached, and I know you've seen multiple times already in the last few months, I don't think it affects it that much. As long as, with our contract with them, as long as they stay within those means, it shouldn't affect our contract. It's just, to me, it's affecting them on their end, and maybe not so much on ours.
Derek, do we know how many bulbs they switched out last year?
I have not looked about last year, no. And they have not changed out many this year so far. It's been under 10 this year so far.
So it's probably not a huge amount of bulbs.
No.
Through them. And, we have our own program. So, I don't know. Yeah, I agree with Derek. It's probably minimal,
Right.
the effect that the MVAC program will have on us.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing to bring it up is just that, because we do have a signed legal contract with them, that nothing is interfering with that, and I don't feel that it is. So.
And I think maybe we want to have them actually install them, because sometimes, things get left. They might not get put in.
Mhm.
So you might want to just give the $2 a bulb to have them installed.
And recycle the,
Yeah,
The
and then
old
they're
ones.
recycling the other ones properly.
Correct.
So I'll make a motion that we continue the contract and go with option 2 for $7 per bulb with the recycling.
I'll second that.
motion's been made and seconded to go with the option with Minnesota Valley Action Council to do a $7 per bulb LED rebate with the conditions that they install the new bulbs and will recycle or take care of the outdated bulbs. All in favor of said motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So moved. Last item on our agenda is a STEAM class presentation. Derek, you want to take us through that?
Yeah. So we held 3 STEAM classes this past month, end of January. Carl Marietta from FVB Energy Inc. Presented a STEAM class to vendors and customers that have STEAM. And the first one was held at 11:30 over lunch hour for the vendors. And the second was at 6:30 p.m. for customers and any other individuals that wanted to attend the class. I put a press release in the Journal, and we did some things on Facebook to kind of advertise it a little bit. We had roughly 10 vendors that came to the first class, which was actually a really good turnout because that's roughly the amount of people that were invited from the vendors. So that was a good turnout. You know, people took notes and everything, so I think they took something away from that. I hope they did. And the second class, which lasted about an hour, we had about 7 to 10 individuals that were customers or people that were concerned about STEAM that came to that class. So I wish that more people would have attended, but it kind of was, in a way, short notice. You know, they were given notice within the week, so it was kind of a short notice. But hopefully we can add on to this and do more in the future with the STEAM and STEAM classes, especially now that I've talked to some individuals that attended the class, and I know the city manager talked to some people as well, and they had good feedback on it, and we can hopefully take what we learned from that customer class and revamp the presentation and focus it more on what they want. So I just thought I wanted to bring that up since we do have a rebate that focuses on district energy, and that was another key point in this class, was to stress to these people that we have this money available for you to use to help maintain your system. And we actually have had one rebate turned in already, so that's good. And I actually had somebody call and ask if they could get hooked up to STEAM.
Oh, that's good.
Unfortunately, that doesn't the STEAM line doesn't go that far.
Oh.
Unfortunately, but
Yeah.
so it worked as into advertising also, you know. So I think overall it did turn out to be worthwhile.
Awareness is what we're
Right.
about, education, and will help. Are there any other topics that the commissioners wish to discuss at this time? Our next meeting is scheduled for March 13th, 5 o'clock, same place. If there's no other business, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second, all in favor, say aye.
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 We are adjourned. Thank you for coming.